All right, in this video, we're going to look at finding the area of general triangles. So triangles that I cannot apply the elementary area formula, area equals 1/2 base times height, because I don't have a given height, and it's also not a 90-degree triangle. It's not a right triangle, so I can't apply that formula. Now we have two options here as to how we would find the area of a triangle. And one of it is using the sine function, which says that if you have a triangle side angle side, I could find the area by taking 1/2 times BC times sine of angle A. Now, way I like to think about this, now if I go through and I draw on my triangle, say, all right, angle A is theta here, and B and C are the adjacent sides. So another way to think of it is I could find the area for side angle side as 1/2 times the product of the adjacent sides times sine of the included angle. All right, so that's one way to find the area without being able to use 1/2 base times height. Now, another option we have, let's say we have the measure of all three sides and no angles. Now, we could always use law of cosines, solve for an angle, and then use the triangle formula for side angle side. That's always an option here. Another option is to use Heron's formula, which bases the area of a triangle off its semi-perimeter. So S is the semi-perimeter. Now, that basically means find the perimeter, add all three sides together, and divide by 2. Heron's formula said that the area can be approximated by taking the square root of the following product: the semi-perimeter times the difference between the semi-perimeter in each side. And that would give you an approximate area value. So we're going to work through I got 3 problems I want to do here today. Just finding the area. And so, looking here at this first one on the top left-hand side, our goal is to find the area. And so I look at the information we have. We have 2 sides and an included angle. So because the angle is included between the 2 adjacent sides, I could simply find the area of the triangle by doing 1/2 times 9 times 12.3 times sine of 106. And so I go to my calculator over here and I look, calculator's in degree mode. So 1/2 times 9 times 12.3 sine of 106. And that gives us our area. Our area would be about 53.21. And remember, area is degree 2, so miles squared. All right, so it's area using side angle side. Now, let's look at this triangle. All right, so let's say I wanted to find the area here. And we're going to use Heron's formula, which says that the area can be calculated by taking the square root of S times S minus A times S minus B times S minus C. Now, my triangle isn't labeled A, B, and C, but that's the formula there. It's just the difference between the semi-perimeter and each side. Well, the semi-perimeter, in this case, I'm going to add up all 3 sides and divide by 2. So that's going to give me my semi-perimeter. So 11 plus 6.9 plus 14, divide that sum by 2, and that's going to give us a semi-perimeter of 15.95. Now we're not done. That's just the semi-perimeter that we use in our area formula. So the area is going to equal the square root of 15.95 times the difference between the semi-perimeter on each side. So we're going to say 15.95 minus 14 times 15.95 minus 11 times 15.95 minus 6.9, and that will give us an approximation for our area. All right, so let's see, I'm going to do what's up underneath the radical first. So 15.95 times 15.95 minus 14 times 15.95 minus 11 times 15.95 minus 6.9. All right, and then I want to take the square root of that. And that gives us an area of approximately 37.33 square miles. All right, so I could get that area using Heron's formula. Now, some people don't like using Heron's formula. They despise it, it's bulky, and it's just one more thing to remember. So option 2, all right, is going to be to use the other one. Now, in order to use the other formula, I have to find the measure of an angle. So let's say I want to go find S. So that way I can use the side angle side formula. So I'd have to use law of cosines here and say, all right, so 6.9 squared is equal to 11 squared plus 14 squared minus 2 times 11 times 14 cosine of angle S. And I'd go find angle S. All right, so let's see. So angle S would be 6.9 squared minus 11 squared minus 14 squared. It gives me negative 269.39. And I'd have to divide that by, use my parentheses, negative 2 times 11 times 14, and do inverse cosine of that decimal, and that gives us S to be 28.997 degrees. So now that I know what angle S is, I could find my area by saying, okay, the area of that triangle is going to be approximately 1/2 times 11 times 14 times sine of 28.997. So 0.5 times 11 times 14 sine of that decimal we got, and that gives us 37.33 square miles. So which way I do it doesn't really matter. I come and I get the same answer either way. So I can use Heron's formula, or I could solve for an angle and use my side angle side formula. All right, one last example. So let's say the triangle is not a direct application of either of those two, just like this one here. And our end game here is still to find the area. Well, I don't know all three sides, so Heron's formula is out of the question. And so I need to see here if I could find one more side, so that way I can, I can use my side angle side formula. Well, we can go ahead and solve for angle R. That might come in handy. So angle R here, R would equal 180 minus 33 minus 36. And so we do that, so 180 minus 33 minus 36, get 111 degrees. Now, I have to figure out what angle is it, or excuse me, what side do I want to use, or do I want to find? I mean, because currently we have 33 opposite of the 5. So I know I'm going to be forced to use law of sine. Sine of 33 degrees divided by 5 is going to equal. And which side you pick does not matter. I'm going to say, let's use the 36. So let's find Q. So sine of 33 divided by 5 would have to equal sine of 36 divided by side Q. Now I'd have to cross multiply, solve for Q. So Q sine of 33 equals 5 times sine of 36 Then divide by sine of 33. And that would give me Q. All right, so 5 sine of 36 divided by sine of 33. So Q is about 5.396. So now to find my area, let me change the color of that. So area for side angle side. In this case, the two sides that I have, I'd have to use angle R because I know side Q and side P. So area would equal 1/2 times Q times P, so times 5, times sine of 111. All right, so I got to be very careful to use the side angle side. Side angles are side. And then we type that in. So 0.5 times, we use that whole decimal, second answer, times 5 times sine of 111. And we get our area to be 12.59 miles squared again. All right, so that's finding the area of general triangle.